What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I know it's been a while and a little late for the Happy New Year, but better late than never. Today we're doing corned beef sliders. A few years ago at Peace, Love, and Boba, we did this as a seasonal menu. I think it was spring, and they did really well. It's a very simple, easy to make item once you get through making the corned beef patties. And that in itself is not even that hard to do. So let's get to it. All right, so the first thing we have to do is make the corned beef patties. I have a pound of canned corned beef here, and it's the Australian brand. I think it's I forgot what it's called, but it's a red and yellow can. And the corned beef is from Australia or New Zealand. I'll link the brand if you really want to get specific with this recipe, but really you just need any corned beef, and this can was a pound, and it's going to make 4 sliders. These are going to be 1/4 pound burger sliders. The other things that you're going to need to make these corned beef patties are 1 egg and also some white flour. So what we're going to do is add just a teaspoon of the flour into the egg. And then we're gonna kind of incorporate that flour and egg together. And what this is gonna do is bind the corned beef patties together, so when we fry it here, it's not gonna kind of just fall apart. And then we're just gonna do a touch of pepper. So once again, we did this recipe, or we used this recipe at Peace, Love, and Boba, and it did really well. All right, so that's pretty good. So what we're gonna do next is make 4 patties. You can use a scale if you want, but really just kind of eyeball it and make these perfect little corned beef balls. So we're gonna separate everything into 4. You can use gloves if you want, but I'm at home, so. And this is kind of an ideal patty. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. All right, so next we're gonna make a really easy slaw. I have some shredded cabbage here, which I shredded up earlier, and a little bit of mayonnaise, and we're gonna just hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. So this is like less than 1/4 of a head of cabbage. I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And then remember, we're gonna need that mayonnaise that you have for a little later. We're gonna do a Jufran aioli to kind of finish everything together. Just hit it with a little bit of pepper, and then just a skosh of salt. That was more than a skosh. Let's see how that works out. All right, next up we need to make the Jufran aioli. Once again, another super easy kind of deal. I mean, aioli is really just a fancy name for mayonnaise with mixed into, or stuff mixed in. And today we're going to use some Jufran. I mean, you could call it an aioli, or maybe it's kind of similar to a like the In-N-Out spread without the relish, but we're just going to keep it simple. Now, I'm going to leave this in because if you've ever tried to use Jufran, this is a struggle for everybody, and I'm sure you can relate. I think there was videos on how to really get the Jufran out, but you just got to hit the bottom because it's a glass bottle. So that was about a big tablespoon of this Jufran here, and this is about 3 tablespoons left of mayonnaise. So we're going to go 1 to that 3, and we're going to mix that together. Going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Excuse me, pepper. Going to hit a little bit with a little bit of pepper. So a touch of salt. And mix that up, and you got your Jufran aioli. All right, so next we're gonna break up the Hawaiian dinner rolls. So wherever you buy them, whether they're off-brand or the King's brand, they come in this big, like, rectangular loaf. And what I like to do, and what we did at the restaurant, is we break up into 2. So you don't have to do this, but these burger patties are pretty big, so you're gonna need more bread with regards to the patty. So I break them up into twos. And then what I do is I'll just take a knife and then kind of just open it up without trying to break the like the seam and break them up into two pieces. Now, also you're just going to kind of have to eyeball like which, so like this is more ideal for a burger, but you know, we can make this work. It's more of like a hot dog, but there we go. So just kind of cut it perfectly, and then we have ourselves a perfect little Hawaiian dinner roll slider bun. So just a little tip. And then next up, we are going to fry the burger patties. So I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of butter onto the skillet to kind of get it nice and greased up. Just don't use your hands like that. And then we're going to apply the burger patties. So we're going to do 2. Let's start off with 2. The skillet is big enough. Okay, a little bit of technique. You want to build a crust on the bottom of the corned beef patty. It'll help you with 2 things. It's going to kind of hold the patty together, and then also it's going to just give you a nice little like bite to that patty, and then also it's going to kind of elevate the flavor a little. So you can kind of move it around, but try not to, because you really want that that crust to build. So we're just going to let it sit. All right, so we'll give it a little look. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to flip the burger patties now. Yes. Now, once we flip the burger patties, we can kind of give them a little press to kind of just make them a little bit flatter. So use your spatula, kind of push them down just a little bit. Perfect. All right, so that was probably about 3 minutes on the first side, and then we're going to do another 4 to 5 minutes on the second side to get another layer of crust on that second side. So next we're going to toast the Hawaiian buns to like a golden brown. I added a little more butter to the skillet, and as you can see here, I burned them. So just be careful. There's a lot of sugar in these buns, so it's they're gonna toast really fast. So just keep your heat a little lower, and then also just watch yourself. So the other side is gonna be really quick because you don't want to kind of burn the top. All right, that's it. That was probably like 30 seconds at the most, and that's all we need. All right, so next we're gonna saute the onions. I got some rings here that I pre-cut, and super quick, we're just gonna add them to the hot skillet and kind of just toast them up a little bit. You can cook the onions to your liking. You can even do them raw if you want. Totally up to you. But we just want to get a little bit of a char and get some of that flavor left over from the pan, so we can add them to our beautiful corned beef patties. Corned beef burger patties. That's hot. That is hot. All right, so now that we got our onions all charred and sauteed and ready to go, we're gonna put our burgers together. So we're gonna start off with the Hawaiian buns, and we're gonna apply a little bit of our Jufran aioli to them. About a teaspoon. I'm gonna do it per side. You don't have to, but this is just preference because I really like this stuff. So we're gonna do both sides. And then we're gonna take the burger patty, and we're gonna take the burger patty, put it on. We're gonna hit it with a little bit of slaw. And then we're gonna top it off with a few of the sauteed onions. So I'm gonna go 1 and let's go 2 rings here. There we go. And then we're going to take that other bun and that's pretty much it. Here we have Peace, Love, and Boba's corned beef sliders. Oh yeah. That's good. The onion, the slaw, and the sweetness of the Hawaiian bun all kind of like dance together perfectly to make this beautiful corned beef slider. Really good. Really similar to what we did a few years ago at Peace, Love, and Boba. I think the key here, the key to this burger is making sure you get that crust when you fry it on the pan.